Hello everyone and welcome to my channel and today's flow, which is an invigorating and twisty one. So we'll move through a sequence with lots of twists in it, as the name states. And we'll start at the top of the mat. So just standing forward fold at the top of the mat. You can bring your feet around hip width distance apart from one another. And then maybe a soft bend in the knees as you release the upper body over the legs. You might want to grab opposite elbows, see how that feels. And then relax the head, just drop the neck heavy. Feeling the chin move towards the chest. Maybe even for a moment you exaggerate that movement to make sure your head is relaxed and slightly tuck your chin towards the chest. Feel the back of the neck lengthen. Feel the low back lengthen as well as you naturally start to press your tummy, your rib cages against the thighs. And we pause here for a moment, just feeling into the body. Are there any tight spots that you feel in this shape? Maybe you can guide a deeper inhale and then release a deeper exhale to maybe release a little bit of that tension. We'll take another deep breath here. Inhale and exhale fully. Take one more like that. Take a deep inhale, feel the rib cages expand as you fill the lungs. And exhale. Good. You can then release your hands from the elbows. Bring your fingertips onto the mat or your shins and lengthen as you inhale. Halfway lift. And exhale, fold over. Good. We'll then keep our left fingertips on the mat or take them to the right ankle and start to reach the right arm up. Maybe bending the left knee, creating a long line from the left fingertips to the right ones. Good. Also creating length in the spine. Open up through the shoulders. Take an inhale. And then exhale, we'll switch right fingertips onto the mat. You can slightly bend the right knee as you start to reach the left arm over. Good. Take an inhale here, lengthen. And then exhale, back down. Good. Both fingertips on the mat. We'll inhale, lengthen the spine, gaze forward. And then as we exhale, we pedal our feet slightly further out towards the long edges of the mat. Maybe the toes slightly point out. And then we sit back into a malasana. So we've got our elbows to the insides of the knees. We lengthen the spine, roll the shoulders back. So as you press the palms against each other and the elbows towards the knees, you get a nice opening for the hips, for the inner thighs, maybe for the lower back. We take an inhale here, lengthen. And then we're going to release our hands onto the mat. The left fingertips stay there. We start to open the right arm out. Good. Try to widen through the chest. Left fingertips on the mat for support. Inhale here. And then exhale, hands come back down to heart center. And then we switch. So the right fingertips come onto the mat. The left arm opens out. Keep pulling the knees out, so don't allow them to collapse towards the center. Take an inhale here. And then hands back to heart center. Good. We lengthen the spine, roll the shoulders back for one more inhale. And then you can release your fingertips onto the mat and step your left foot back. So we come into a lizard pose. Right toes, right knee slightly pointed out. And you can find a little bit of movement here, maybe swaying back and forth. You can also release the left knee onto the mat for a while if you like. See how all these movements feel in the hips and make it feel good. Good. Well done. We'll tuck the left toes under, lift the knee off the mat unless it already is. The left hand stays on the mat and we open the right arm out. Good. Once again, expanding through the chest, long line from one hand to the other. Good. Keep pushing the left hand down. Stay strong in the left shoulder. Take an inhale. As we exhale, we're going to plant the entire left foot down and start to turn towards the back of the mat so that we come into a skandasana. So left knee bends, right toes pointing towards the ceiling. The hands are either at heart center or you can also place them onto the mat. You can also stay a little bit higher up if otherwise this feels like a tricky posture. Good. Well done. Take an inhale here. And now we're going to drop our right glute all the way onto the mat. You might want to do that with the help of your hands. And then we'll turn our left knee down onto the mat. So we're in this kind of one-legged forward fold position with the left heel kind of out towards the left glute. Good. We're going to bring our right hand over to the left knee from here and then start to lengthen through the left side body, reaching the left fingertips over towards the right toes. Touching the toes isn't the important part here, rather creating length in the side body and at the same time twisting. So holding onto that knee with your right hand to kind of scoop the right rib cage under and the left one over. If you want to grab the toes, if that's there for you, feel free. Good. We'll take an inhale here. And then we rise all the way up, going back the exact same way we came. So we're going to lift the left knee up and then push up into a skandasana. Remember, you can always use your hands to help you. From here, pushing up into a wide-legged forward fold. So feet parallel. You can widen the stance if you like or make it shorter. We'll halfway lift, lengthen, and then exhale, fold over. Good, we'll do that once more. Lift and lengthen, inhale. And exhale. Good. We'll lift ourselves halfway, keeping our right hand on the mat, and then reach your left arm up in this shape. Try to keep the hips squared. So basically that means not allowing the right side of the hip to fall down, but rather pushing it in so that the lower back is even. Good. Well done. You can gaze up if it's there for you and take an inhale here. As you exhale, sweep your left hand down. We're going to move all the way towards the top of the mat. You can turn your right toes to point forward and then step your left knee behind the right ankle and sit down. We'll sweep the right fingertips back and inhale the left arm up, lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, elbow crosses over the knee and we twist. Good. Gazing over the right shoulder. And with each inhale, can you lengthen the spine a little bit more? And with each exhale, as you empty the lungs, can you twist a little bit deeper? Good. Final inhale here. And then exhale, find your way back to center. We'll ground both hands down and step back into a plank pose. You can bring your knees down onto the mat. We'll lower the chin and the chest and then the hips as well. Hands under the shoulders, rolling into a cobra. Inhale, let this feel good. And then exhale back down. Now tucking the toes under, we'll push onto hands and knees. And then all the way into a downward facing dog. Good. Taking a moment here. Let yourself stretch it out. Maybe pedaling the feet out, lengthening the spine. Bending one knee after the other. Good. And then from here, we'll come onto our tiptoes. Exhale, bend the knees and you can gaze forward and either hop or step into that malasana again. Good. Sitting down through the hips, hands come to heart center, press the knees away from each other. And then just pause here for a breath. Lengthen the spine as you inhale. And then as we exhale, we release our fingertips onto the mat. And now we'll step the right foot back. Left toes pointing slightly out. And we come into a lizard pose on this side. Good. Find some kind of movement that feels good. It might be swaying back and forth. You might want to bring your right knee down and just really sink into the hips. Good. Let it feel good. We'll lift the right knee off the mat, if it's there, and then ground your right hand down and lift the left arm up. So finding expansion through the chest, through the hands. Good, roll the shoulders back. We take an inhale here. And then bring your left hand down, start to circle all the way towards the back of the mat. The right foot plants, and we sink into a Skandasana. Hands at heart center or on the mat. Good. And you can also stay a little bit higher up in this shape. So the right heel doesn't need to meet the mat. Take an inhale here. And then release your left glute onto the mat. We're going to turn our right knee down. Crossing your left hand over to the right knee, we'll start to lengthen through the right side body, bending towards the leg. And now as you go there, keeping in mind that you scoop the left rib cage under and lift the right one up. If it's there for you, you can also grab the toes, but that's not really where we're going with this. More important is to keep the right side of the body pointing up. Good. Take an inhale. And then we come all the way back up. We lift the right knee up and then come back the same way we came. So lifting into your Skandasana, then into a wide-legged forward fold. So you can adjust through the feet if you like. We're going to inhale, lengthen the spine, gaze forward. And then exhale, fold over. Good. Do that once more. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, fold. Good. You can lift halfway, keeping your left hand under the face, and then reach your right arm up. Keeping the hips squared, so now not allowing the left side of the hip to drop down, but rather pulling it in. Good. Maybe you lift the gaze up. Pressing both feet evenly in towards the mat, hugging them in, engaging through the inner thighs. Take an inhale here. And then sweep the right hand down. We're going to move all the way towards the top of the mat, turning the left toes forward. And then from there, step the right knee in. Find your seat. Left fingertips behind you. Sweep the right arm up as you inhale. And then exhale. Find your twist. Right elbow over the left knee. Good. Let this feel good. Long inhales, lengthen, and then deep exhales, twist you a little bit deeper. We'll do that once more. Inhale. And then with the exhale, you can start to turn back towards the top of the mat, plant your hands down, step into a plank pose. We'll bring the knees down. You can also go through a chaturanga and an upward facing dog. We'll move through a cobra, hands under the shoulders, roll the spine up. And then back down. Good. Push onto hands and knees. Tuck the toes under and find your downward facing dog. Good. Take a full breath here. And exhale out. From your downward facing dog, we're going to keep the left hand rooted on the mat and then guide your right hand towards the left ankle. See if you can grab it. You can also bend the knees slightly here. And then start to twist. So keep pressing the left hand down. Pulling the ankle towards you with the right hand. Good. And then we'll release the right hand back down. Regular downward facing dog. And then from here, inhale your right leg up behind you. As you exhale, draw the right knee in towards the left tricep. And then shoot it out to the side. We're going to bring our weight onto the right hand, coming into a fallen triangle, left arm reaches up. Good. Push the hips up as you inhale here, lengthen. And as you exhale, bring your left hand back down. We're going to hug the right knee in towards the chest and then step it forward between the hands. So coming into a lunge position through the legs. We'll inhale up into a crescent lunge. Exhale, drop a little bit deeper here. Good. Breathing, lengthen through the spine all the way to the fingertips. As you next exhale, bring your hands to heart center, and then we'll twist with the left elbow moving over the right knee, other thigh. Good. Keeping that good foundation through the legs to keep your balance. Keep pressing the hands against each other, and the left elbow towards the right knee. And then from here, start to gradually, really slowly with control, bringing more weight onto your right foot, and can you step the left foot next to the right one? So you come into a twisting chair. Arriving into this shape, maybe twist a little bit deeper once you get there. And then we'll start to slowly bring more weight onto the left side, onto the left foot. Can you keep your right knee and the left elbow in contact as you start to lift up from here into a standing position? Good. So same shape through the right leg and the hands. And then we'll release that shape, bringing your left hand to the outer edge of the right foot or just onto the right knee. Open your right arm out. Good. Well done. Can you find length in the right leg? If you're grabbing onto the foot, maybe also find length in the whole spine. The bottom leg, take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, you can release the right foot back down onto the mat. Good. Roll the shoulders back, take a breath here. And then empty the lungs. Good. We inhale, reach the arms up, lengthen. As you exhale, fold over the legs. Good. Lengthen as you inhale, halfway lift. And then plant your hands onto the mat. We'll step into a plank pose. Going through a vinyasa of your choice, it could be cobra or chaturanga and upward facing dog. Up to you. We all meet in a downward facing dog. Good. Moving on to the other side. Now keeping your right hand grounded on the mat, we're going to reach our left hand towards the right ankle. Keep pressing the right hand down for support and to also go deeper into that twist. And with the left hand, you can pull the right ankle closer to you. Good. We'll release the left hand back towards the top of the mat. And then inhale, the left leg rises. Exhale, hug the knee in towards the right tricep. And then shoot it over to the right. Good. Left hand on the mat, we start to reach our right arm up. Lift up through the chest, through the hips. Take an inhale. As you exhale, circle the right hand back down. Can you hug the left knee in towards the chest and then step it forward from there? Find that good foundation through the legs and then start to lift up, arms long, and then sink a little bit deeper through the hips. Good. Take an inhale to lengthen here. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. And then we twist. So right elbow over the left knee. And then press the palms against each other. Maybe you turn the gaze up if you've got the balance here. Good. Keep pressing the left heel down. Take an inhale. And then we start to bring our weight more onto the left foot. Can you slowly step your right foot forward, coming into your chair pose? Good. Settle there once you've reached that shape. And breathe. Good. We'll start to bring more weight onto the right foot now. Can you keep the right elbow and the left knee in contact as you slowly sneak up from here? Left knee travels with you. And then you move your right hand towards either the knee or the outer edge of the foot and come into your standing twist. Left arm towards the back of the mat. And can you expand through the chest, roll the shoulders back. Good. Take an inhale. And then you can bring the knee in, place the foot back onto the mat. Take a big inhale here. And exhale it out. Good. Well done. That was a big sequence. We'll reach the arms up as we inhale. And then exhale, fold over the legs. Lengthen as you inhale. And then plant your hands down. We'll go through one more vinyasa. Or you can also skip it, of course. Either come down all the way onto the mat or go through a chaturanga. And then an upward facing dog or a cobra. And finally a downward facing dog. Good. The hips move up. Once you reach your downward facing dog, take a full breath in. And exhale out. With our next inhale, we move into a plank pose, pushing the weight forward. And then bring your knees down, lower the whole body onto the mat. We'll come into a broken wing stretch. So we're going to extend our left arm out to the left side so that the palm is facing down and so that it's shoulder height. Right hand under the shoulder. We'll bend our right knee and then start to turn onto the left side. So stepping your right foot over the left one, if that feels good. But what we're aiming for here is a stretch for the left shoulder, or the front of the shoulder and the shoulder blade most probably. So whatever you do with your legs doesn't really matter as long as you kind of get that sensation in the shoulder. So you might want to bend the left knee. There's so many things you can do here. And you might also notice that this is a twist for the spine. So the more you allow your right knee to drape open towards the right, the more you'll also twist here. Good. Take a few more deep breaths on this side. Good. And then we'll turn back to center. Belly meets the mat. You can bring both hands under the shoulders. Coming into one cobra. Inhale. And then exhale, release down. Good. Then extend your right arm out to the right so that the palm's down, shoulder height. And then bend your left knee, start to turn onto your right side. Good. You can gently press the mat away from you with the left fingertips. Oh, this side is tight for me. Really noticing the side differences in this pose for sure. And then settle here once you've reached the shape and settle back in with the breath. Can you truly use the exhales to release, to let go of something, to soften? Take 2 more breaths here. And then turn back onto this tummy as you next exhale. Good. Hands can come under the shoulders. We'll come into one more cobra. And then exhale out. Good. From here, we're going to simply turn over onto our backs. We're coming closer to Savasana. What we're going to do is hug the knees in towards the chest. Good. And then from here, move into a happy baby pose for a few breaths before we come into our final relaxation pose. Can you move the knees towards the armpits, holding on to any spot of the legs or the feet, to be honest. And can you ground the sacrum down? So if it feels a little bit tight, if it feels like there's no space to ground the low back down, can you hold on to the feet a little bit higher up? So maybe move into the ankles or the shins. Even bringing the hands to the backs of the knees is quite nice because you've got a lot of space to make sure your spine's long. Good. Take 2 more deep breaths here. Can you soften through the hips? Well done. And then bring the feet back in. You can drop them onto the mat and then extend the legs long on the mat. Adjusting if you need to at this point to make sure that once you reach your Savasana, you're actually comfortable there. Make sure the shoulders are grounding down, the hips feel comfortable, the legs are long, the arms are long. And then we soften the whole body here, moving into a very soft, gentle, relaxed state. No need to engage, no need to put in any effort anymore. Let the body become heavy. Also noticing the breath calm down. It can almost become a little bit shallower at this point, as we're not actively lengthening the breath. The breath returns to a very natural way, a very natural rhythm, which often means when we're relaxed that it's also almost unnoticeable. Can you soften even more? Soften through all the muscles of the face, unclench the jaw. Let the back of the neck be long. And then can you start to reintroduce movement into the body? Perhaps turning the head from side to side. Maybe curling the toes and the fingers. Maybe guiding a deeper inhale to fill the lungs up. And then lengthen the arms all the way overhead to find that full body stretch. Maybe point the toes to find that full length. And then finally hug your knees in towards the chest. And then once you're ready, you can drop onto one side. And then from there, find your way back up into a seat. Good. Maybe still keep the eyes softly closed. Place your hands onto the knees or the thighs. Roll the shoulders back to find that length through the spine again. And then just meet this shape for a few breaths. Truly acknowledging the practice that you've gone through. Expressing gratitude for yourself for having done it, for having taken time for yourself, for your own self-care, for your body, for your peace. And when you're ready, you can bring your hands to heart center and finally bow your head towards the hands. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me for today's practice. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do like practicing with me, please subscribe to my channel. All the subscribes, likes, the comments, all of that go a really long way. I've also attached a guide for an intentional morning routine. It's just below in the caption, so there's a link for it there. If you're interested, please go grab that. I'm here every Thursday, so I post a new video every week. So I really hope I see you here next week as well. Thank you.